Chelsea's a top team. You can't be saying, "Oh, I want to see him at Barcelona."
He's got West Ham, bro.
I just view it as like he got 15 goals in a team that wasn't even very good for half a season, and then was injured and not that good. But if there's a better version of that Chelsea team, like what can he do? And I mean, it's not like something I'm going to say we should sacrifice a lot of points trying to see. At the end of the day, like if we're gonna drop points playing Tammy, then I don't want to do it. But I'm curious how well he can do.
That Chelsea team wasn't bad. That Chelsea team wasn't bad. You know
it was better attack. It was better in attack than this season's Lampard team. That is for sure.
But then, Buzzy, to your point, your alternatives is the reason why he should be playing more.
Play to Werner. He's onside.
Really?
He was onside.
And I'll say why. Because you have a Werner who really is really underperforming. And at no point so far in his time at Chelsea, I know it's obviously been very short, has he performed better than Tammy's peak. And Tammy's only been there for 2 years.
Harold, the difference is that Werner's not always playing up front for us. Werner's playing.
Why did he pass it?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, he was onside for like
9 or nothing.
And when he passed it,
what I'm saying is, it looks like he's still trying things out. He's playing Werner there. He's playing Giroud there. He's even playing Kai there more recently. So surely Tammy should come back into some sort of thinking. That's what I don't.
So I think there must be a decision made. I think that's it. And maybe it was the reaction. I don't know, because Tammy's liking tweets as well about
the contract thing too.
Not really, because his contract's 2023, right? Because Giroud's
but
contract's
it's gonna either he resigns or he moves at this point is what I mean. And
but Giroud's contract is. Giroud's contract's going out, and he's still in the conversation. I don't think it's a contract thing at all. I don't think that he wants him to resign. I think he wants to sell him. I think Tuchel wants to sell him. If you want someone to resign, you play them to get them to resign, right?
No, I'm not saying he does want him to resign. I think it's I don't really favor him, and his contract's on the line, and he's not signing an extension, and I don't really want him to. So why would I bother with playing time if I don't rate him and he's just gonna leave? Whereas Giroud, you put him in, you know he's gonna leave. We all know Giroud's gonna go, but you know what you're getting out of Giroud when you put him on the field anyway. So it's worth throwing him game time every now and then because he's Giroud and he probably will score an overhead kick after missing 3 open nets.
I don't know why you have to add the 3 open nets, but
because you can't.
He doesn't. Werner, if there's someone that's going to be missing chances in our team, it's Werner. I think Giroud's probably our most clinical finisher.
Question, guys. Do you guys still think Cancelo is better than Trent? Yeah.
Wait a minute. Can I ask a question real quick? Who said that?
The initial question.
Who said that? Yeah.
Yeah. Who said that?
That was a touchline thing.
It was a touchline thing. So throughout the season, I've been keeping tabs on the number of people who have very small stints of a good game, and then they'll suddenly say this person is a better right back than Trent. And I don't even care about Trent that much to do this. I just find it hilarious. So it began with Kyle Walker. He was the first one. And then Kyle Walker showed you why he isn't in a game against Liverpool where he fouled Mane unnecessarily gave away a penalty.
I'd take Kyle Walker.
Number 1. Cool. Fine. You say that. Personally, I wouldn't. But anyway, cool. Okay. We can disagree there. That's fine. And then there's Cancelo who emerged from somewhere. They're like, oh, look at this guy because he had a good run of games.
He emerged from somewhere.
Well, I mean, it's in because you know what Pep is like. So he might play him there, or who's the other fullback actually? Oh, Kyle Walker. So might play Kyle Walker then.
And Zinchenko.
Yeah, but he's a left back, so that's fair enough.
Haven't they played Cancelo left back sometimes?
Yeah, exactly. They play Cancelo left back or something. They're like, oh, look at him, look how he's attacking prowess or this and that, whatever. Fine. Cancelo is very good. I'll give him that though. I thought that from Juve, to be fair. And then another one, Reece James. And then he came in. Reece James had a decent run against.
Oh, Jesus.
He scored a banger against Brighton.
No, Reece James is cold.
Yeah, Reece is still good.
But once again, still not better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. I just find it quite funny.
Oh,
is that debatable?
This is the wrong
It's
crowd.
Definitely debatable. Yeah,
you
it's the wrong crowd.
I mean, I'm asking
you
who do you guys think is better?
I think Reece's all-around game, you could argue, is a better right back because he is a better defender than Trent, no question.
Who would you prefer in right back in your team?
Oh, I'd prefer Reece James.
Reece James.
Yeah, only I say Reece James. Okay, cool, fine.
The reason why I say Reece James, the reason why I say Reece James is because it does feel like I can't say that I watch Liverpool week in, week out, and I don't like to pretend I'm expert on players that I don't week in, week out. However, it does feel like a lot of teams are targeting Trent's side, and I feel like we don't get that with Reece James. With Reece James playing that, yeah, go on.
You need to know why they target the right hand side.
Yeah, so tell me, because I'm not pretending to be an expert.
So the reason what makes Trent so good is that he is our. Let me give an example. He's the best example. He is our De Bruyne, but just right back, right? So he's the one dictating quite a lot of our attacking play from right back. So he's always finding maybe on the halfway line or in the opponent's third, right? So there's always a space behind him. Whereas a more conventional right back wouldn't be so close to goal, so quick in an attack.
Yeah.
I get that this is role. My counter to that would be that. Sure.
Go, have you got any more, Harold, or have you finished?
No. You go.
I was just saying. My counter to that would be that Klopp design and to a degree teams who seem to have figured this out based on how Trent isn't doing as well as last season. That the system is designed for him to be that playmaker, almost like coming up from the middle or pushing up higher than a right back normally would. Teams have figured that out. That the system is to allow for Trent to be on the ball, and it's really cool that he's a right back that is a De Bruyne style player, and that's not to take away from his talent. But if you shift your plan to be like, okay, the play is all going to go through Trent after a season of them doing that and winning the title, we all know that's what's happening. So let's target him. If the system doesn't cater to him, and you see with England, where he's not nearly as good, B, now out of favor. If the system isn't catering to him having like the keys to run the attack or create or whip in balls constantly, then like I don't think he's as much of a big threat. And then you just have a right back who is either caught up fields or gets beat one-on-one because he's not like a stalwart defensive player. So yes, if you cater to him, you set up the system to be where he's the creator, which Klopp worked pretty hard to do, and it clearly worked for a while, and it might continue to work when Liverpool get back on form. I don't know. I'm just saying you do have to kind of play that way very intentionally. Whereas Reece James, I think you plug into any team and he gives you good crosses. He beats men. He can't get shouldered off the ball. He's pretty good one-on-one. He does get beat sometimes. But
yes,
I don't think he's. By the way, I agree with what you're saying. If you cater to Trent, fair enough, fine. And Dan, I will let you go. I was just going to say, I think when you have like a trait that's been given to you by people who watch you often, it's hard to shake it off. So Trent not being good at defending is something that people have related to him, even though he has more often not, he has games where he's actually completely competent. But people, they'll see him in a high-profile game, get skinned by a very good one-on-one player, and be like, "Oh, look at him, blah blah." Vinicius is very good 1v1, by the way. Like, don't get twisted. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Trent was terrible that game, that first half at least. But that's not saying that. And now I'll relate the same with Reece James. Him being way better than, well, not way better, but him being better than Trent backwards, well, at least defensively, that somewhat coats the fact that he actually isn't as good as a defender as what is made out to see. And I've noticed that this year. But I would say he is obviously more well-rounded, obviously.
Yeah, my thing is, I agree with you. Like, I see it all the time, like with David Luiz, like when people at Chelsea, I can't speak about Arsenal, but people are like, oh, he makes loads of mistakes, he gets sent off. He doesn't necessarily make it, but because once something sticks with you, whenever you make it, it becomes a big story. And that's something that's following Trent right now. However, you're asking me about right back, like kind of what Buzzy said. If you're asking me who's a better right back, then I'm going to judge it on right back qualities, not on what Trent does in terms of being a playmaker. So yeah, like for me, Reece James, it's not taken away from his attacking or playmaking or whatever. But yeah, 100%. I just don't. I wouldn't in my team want that vulnerability defensively.
Well, that's fair enough. I guess you guys don't really have a Gomez who can sprint back at ridiculous speed to maybe cover.
We had Tomori, but they
We
decided
have
to get rid of
Rudiger.
him.
Yeah, but I mean,
Rudiger's
how long did you guys even play Tomori, for goodness sake? Oh no.
Bruv, we have Rudiger.
Rudiger's
Do you know how
fast.
quick he is?
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Rudiger's
Oh, fair enough.
Whenever they do them videos, say, who's the quickest in the club, it's either him or
the way we
Tomori.
play is
one at a time, please.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, but just be conscious when you're talking, so it's one at a time. But continue.
Yeah.
Shut up, Dan. We're not in school.
Bruv,
Is that
like,
so?
people have to listen to this shit.
Yeah, it makes bad.
People have to listen to this shit, man.
Tell him to kiss my ass, man.
You watched the game?
Yeah.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand, please. Raise your hands.
I can't believe he said that.
Was that a foul?
Fernandinho is better than Fabinho, man.
He hasn't got the card out for any
Was that a
challenge
foul?
in this game.
Who was that? Reece James, yeah?
That was a good tackle.
Yeah. Let's see if it was a good tackle.
No, that was a foul.
Let's see. Yeah, it's a foul still. It's a foul, bro. It's a foul. It's a foul. It's a foul, bro. It's a foul. Let's accept it, yeah?
You got the ball, man.
It's a foul, bro. And it's
I couldn't really see the ball in that thing, but it looked like it went in from behind him.
It wasn't a red.
I don't think it was a yellow card, though.
By the way,
if you mind hearing Harold's?
I think it was a red, personally.
If Reece scored that shot right after we were talking about him, that would have been.
It's just Charlie.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, man.
When you have Mike Dean as ref, he just gets bored and he just needs to fucking do something.
Yeah, Dean still wants his moment. There's a penalty.
Yeah.
That was a yellow guy. That was a yellow card, guys. Come on,
Your head is yellow. Shut up, man. It's not yellow.
We're actually on top. Have City had a shot yet?
It's such poor ref. It's such poor.
That Kepa one.
The consistency is shocking. I think City have been shit. I think we've done well. Really well.
Yeah, no, you have. You know what? Now I'll say that you have done well. I agree with that statement now.
Oh, that's nice.
You guys haven't really
been
done
relatively well.
I was going to say,
well. Well, full stop.
I wanted to make a point about the Trent thing as well, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
About the defensive thing. One thing I'm going to say is, I feel like a lot of teams don't focus their attacks down the left, because if you actually think about it, the majority of top level like wide players are left wingers, etc. So a lot more attacks are going to come down that hand side, and the right backs are going to defend a whole lot more. Like how many right wingers could you really name which are like top level? If you get what I mean, like I do feel. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. Mahrez, Salah. Do you get what I mean, though? Like, I feel like teams. Man, don't do that one. But yeah, I feel like teams attack down their left side a whole lot more. Okay, I feel like just that's why.
That's an interesting point.
A whole lot more. It definitely makes sense.
Also, by the way, my point isn't solely limited to Trent being further up the field. There are times, particularly where he's maybe not even having to do 1v1. I don't even think he's that bad 1v1. It's more so when there's a space to defend. He has terrible lapses in his concentration, because you can tell defending.
I think that's a young defender thing, you know.
Bro, but look, he's been playing professional football now for years. Yeah, he's been part of his Liverpool team full time since 17-18. Yeah, so I'm not having that. I can't lie to you. So with him, he doesn't have the passion to defend like he does have to attack, and it's quite hard to instill that into someone. So like, it's the same way like when you guys know what I'm talking about. I guess this is more of a drastic example, but when Jose was trying to get Hazard to defend, bro, like he'll do it, but like, bro, man don't care. Like, and don't get me wrong, Trent is a defender, and that should become more natural to him. Unfortunately, it doesn't. So unless it's like a high profile 1v1 situation, he doesn't. He's a bit lackluster in his defending. Like, I have to be honest.
Do you agree with a lot of, like, obviously when people say he should move to central midfield? Do you agree with those shouts?
No, I hate that. I actually hate that so much, because you're a right back, yeah? What is your angle of vision? 180 degrees,
yeah? Brother, I 100% agree with you.
Your centre mid now is 360. You have to know what's going on behind you. I've just told you, Trent can't defend the space. Now you want to play in the middle of the pitch. You're a joker.
Bruv, it's so different. Like, when you're used to playing in the middle of the park, you have, like you said, you have the vision to pass left and right. And then at right back, you only really can go one way.
Oh, I hate it when people keep saying, "Oh, he should play centre mid." No, he shouldn't, bro. What makes him good? What makes him a bit of a unique player is the fact that he does it from right back. Who the hell marks a right back? No one. Like, it just doesn't happen. That's maybe that's his USP.
Do you think teams this year have started to do that a bit more? That's maybe why he's.
I think it's been very poor. I think it's been poor in general. He's like, forget our injuries. He's just been very poor. He started to pick up a little bit more form in more recent games. Obviously, he had that awful first half against Madrid in the first leg, but he's been all right relatively this season. But no, man, do not go to midfield, boy. If you want your team to keep giving away possession, good for you. I'm good. I'm okay. Personally.
Whoa, is that not a foul, ref? Okay, there we go. Crazy. The half's already nearly finished.
You guys are playing all right, to be fair.
This game was a very good gauge for where we are, and it's clear to see how much better we are than under Lampard.
I think
I'll say I'm still waiting for the league game, man. I'm still waiting for the league game.
Sure.
True. But they got a good team out.
Pep even said they're tired.
We're tired.
Pep said they're tired, bro. F that guy. How many top class players do they have? Are you mad? How much is my AK4, please?
We literally are playing the same amount of games with them as well, so they can't even use that excuse.
You can be quiet, man. Ferran Torres is there. But people even forgot he was even bought. He's got Stones out who's been playing the best season since he left from Everton. But what?
How many goals has Ferran Torres got this year? Because I feel he always nabs like 1 or 2 every now and then.
What, 5?
Well, poor
He's got a hat trick in one game, actually. I think.
Yes, I think he has like 8 this season.
How many games has Ake played also?
Bro, like 3.
Someone said like 11. I think he got a bit of a run at the start of the year, didn't he?
Okay.
They paid a lot for him
when they were doing shit.
That wasn't a nothing transfer. They spent a lot.
Yeah,
exactly. Apparently he's been injured.
I think it was 50 M's. Am I wrong? Yeah, he did get injured. He did. But how much is it? Was it 40 or 50 M's? I don't remember.
Yeah, he's been hurt for actually a lot longer than I thought he was.
Bro, City can spend money for days. That team, it's an embarrassment of riches. So don't tell me about your players are tired.
It's a 40 mil.
40 mil. When you have Laporte on the bench, allow it, man. Like, allow me, please.
I like that guy so much, man. Laporte.
I used to. I'm not sure anymore, you know.
Nah, I think he's still quality, man.
I'm not sure how he's returned from that ACL.
No, dog shit.
That's a poor pass. I think he's top quality.
Oh, amazing.
Nice. Turn it quick. Oh.
Are you guys a bit upset that Havertz is?
Not really, no.
No.
I was mostly looking at the wide areas, man. The wide areas for me were the areas that we're going to best exploit City.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Puli start.
Yeah,
I think out of everyone.
But
someone will run at him.
Maybe off the bench. Tuchel likes him off the bench too. So.
Yeah, he does, and I think it's risky. He's just played, and with his injury record,
he played 2 games back to back and played most of them. So.
I wonder, Brian. Guys, when are we gonna have a chat about Raheem Sterling?
Have that.
Because of one poor season.
No, wait. Let me hear your gripe, Harold.
I knew this guy was gonna come.
Hey, Harold. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Tell me more.
I feel like Seb. Yeah, I feel like he echoes my sentiments. Yeah.
Mm.
Mostly because of how much he loves Rashford, and then man played the same position. But look, Sterling, I have said this and I've maintained this for a while.
Jesus is Lord. This guy's not a footballer. He's not a footballer. I refuse to believe it, man.
Yeah, God, Harold.
Raheem Sterling, yeah, at Liverpool, dribble demon, 1v1, unbelievable. Get past the man. Comes to Man City now. He is this efficient, effective goal scorer now. Nothing too outrageous or extravagant. He just gets his goals in the right place at the right time, right? I've always questioned there being a little bit of stardust around him, and it's hard to quantify what that is, but he lacks an X factor that most top players have, right? So the fact that he's finishing and he's shooting is so woeful still, seriously worries me. He's lost that 1v1 dribbling that he had before. He doesn't really do that anymore. He's not even a wide forward to me anymore. He's basically like he's more of like a in between a striker and a forward. I guess that is a wide forward, but anyway, never mind. But he isn't that guy who everyone thinks he is what I'm basically trying to say. I don't think he's as good as what people make him out to be. And Sebi, just to appease you, I'm having Rashford still.
Yeah, so just like see my problem with Sterling is literally exactly everything you said. Like I just don't think as a football player. So when we look at all the attributes of playing football, I don't think he's the best. However, what I do think is he makes intelligent runs, and he's been coached well, and he's efficient. That doesn't mean that he's shit. That doesn't mean that he's not.
Nah, he isn't. No.
I just think like when you're trying to compare top players v top players, it's got to be a bit more than goals to me, because literally the only thing I can say for Sterling is he's got pace and he scores goals. That's great. That's amazing. But if we're just comparing player v player, man, I think he's lost a lot.
Would you possibly say that this is down to Pep's management of him? because as you said, Harold, when he was at Liverpool, there's
but there's pros and cons in it.
That he does not even do when he's at City, and obviously Pep's probably drilled into him how he expects him to play, and it's probably a case of you ain't getting in the City team if you don't play this way, and that's probably what's taken away from his raw ability.
No, you're right. So there are pros and cons to it, innit? And I think Rick is saying something similar as well. Like, obviously there's the pros is that he's become this effective goal scorer. Like, there's no denying it. Like, he gets goals. This season maybe not so much.
With it, yeah.
And titles, of course. Yeah. I mean, you're in a star-studded team. Like, this it's gonna happen. Anyway, like he's still a very good player. Don't get me wrong. However, now he's had to give up some of the kind of things that made him who he was at Liverpool. Yeah. And now you're thinking that, okay, now the goals have dried up. Like, what's that? Who are you now, bro? Like, whereas
I think what you said is right. Is an addition. He's just an additional goal scorer to the City team. And you play that system, or you don't get in. And
I think the best way to compare him to someone is, so like, if you compare him to, like, people used to compare him to like a Mane, or I guess some will say Rash, or any other top left winger, right? You think, if I swap you out for that other player, how many goals am I getting in that team? Like, if I put Sterling in the United team, is he matching Rashford's output? I don't know. Like, I think there's elements of his game, particularly shooting. It drives me mad how poor it is. Like, his execution can be so terrible for someone who has so much ability. He's like deceivingly strong, very quick, as we all know. He used to be a great dribbler, maybe not so much anymore. But he still doesn't know how to shoot. It makes me like, there's one game I always remember, yeah, the Manchester Derby 2018, 2018 season when City got 100 points, yeah, and he missed 3 glorious opportunities in the first half. And then United came back from 2-0 down to 1-3-2 with Pogba being the architect in it. That was when Pogba had that blue thing in his hair. Everyone's wondering, why is he wearing blue against Man City? That was the game I was looking at Sterling like, bro, it's another opportunity for you to show yourself. I'll give you another game. Lyon last year, Champions League. Glorious opportunities fall to him and he doesn't convert. It's so questionable. What top talent can't finish those high number of chances? And I get it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good on the monologue now, and I'm gonna stop in a second. But like, what did he say? That Leon game was a disgrace. Yeah, it was insane. But like, there's loads of examples of, like, don't get me wrong, a lot of top quality players, they take a lot of chances to score a goal. However, the numbers speak for themselves. But they still make the difference in that game. I can't tell you how many high profile games. I guess more in recent times. In 18-19 season, he did very well. Raheem Sterling, particularly in the Christmas time. But since then, it's petered out, man, and he's lost what's really made him so great. Unfortunately, man.
As you said, it depends. Yeah, I guess you just conclude. It depends what you just judge success on for him, innit?
Bro, there ain't no doubt about it. He has been successful.
Oh my God, talking about Sterling, I've just come across the worst post on Twitter.
It just depends, but yeah, for a more footballing ability, yes, sad to see.
Yeah, he isn't the Sterling we want.
From a natural, do you know what I mean? Yeah. From a neutral.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Trevor Sinclair saying he'd have Raheem Sterling over Neymar.
Allow it, man.
But you have to. A lot of these English pundits don't even like Neymar, so they'll take anybody over him.
The funniest one was the whole Joey Barton thing, where he used to make jokes, and then he saw Neymar play. He's like, okay, you know what,
Neymar, when he's just on a vibes thing, like 50%, just not even trying properly, is still better than Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong about anything you said about Sterling. I still think he doesn't mind at all having 20 goals in a Premier League title at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course not. And why should he? However, if you want to be considered amongst the elite wide forwards,
do you know what's so funny, Harold?
You need to add more to your game.
Do you know what's so funny, Harold? You've said all of this, but he's still only 26. He hasn't really even hit his prime, so he has plenty time to do even more. But when it's all said and done, he's probably going to do double what he's done previously. Like this season, if you think about it, is when his worst season at City. And what's going to happen is in the summer, Pep's either going to buy a new winger to kick him up the arse, or he's going to have to pattern up no matter what. I don't see him having a season like this again. It's the same for Mane. I don't see Mane having a season like this again. I feel like I know how you guys are saying about him, like comparing it to Alexis, but I feel like Mane. I just don't think like that comparison is applicable because I feel like Alexis was a lot more intense in the way he runs, and I feel like Mane's just been like poor application wise. It's not even just like a fitness thing; it's just been application. So I do feel like this season's been an off season, and I feel like a lot of players that have been relatively poor this season are going to come back next season, hopefully, because if a lot of players like get knocked out of the Euros, for instance, they're going to have extra rest. And I think that's going to play a major impact. Like you look at Rashford, right? First off, for 2020, he was amazing. This year, he's been poor, and it's not just on his fault, but it's the fact he's been injured half the season, and Ollie's just been running into the ground. Same with Son. 2020 first half of the season, he was top quality. This part of the year, he's been dog shit. You know, and I feel like a lot of players are going through it this season because of like the way like there's like a congested like fixture list. You know, all like COVID and all these kind of different things. And I feel like next season, hopefully, we will see a bit more like, somebody just said it's normal for Son, but boy, maybe it is just him. But yeah, Son's 29 in it, so I would have thought that Son would have like rubbed off the
I think it's a bit harsh to say normal for Son because this season's a bit different though, man. Like I know he's a very streaky purple patch type of player, but I think this year was different. He's been top quality this year. Like let's keep it real. If I'm thinking about who have been the best left wingers this season, Grealish, Son.
I'm sorry, I'm never going to put Son there. The only person I'm going to really have is Grealish.
No, bro, no.
Let's okay, Harry. I'm going to ask you this. This half of the year,
Rash. Yeah, that's it.
This half of the year,
Son, Rash, in that order. That's it. That's this season left wingers. Grealish, Son, Rash. That's it.
And if you think about it, I don't think any of them, bar Grealish, has been like world class throughout the season.
Nah, there were points in the season where Son was looking world class, bro. There were points.
Like for like 5 games.
As I said, there were points. I didn't say he is, but I said there were points.
I know, but like what the way I look at world class, you have to be doing it for like a period, man. Like it's like how I was saying, like, Pulisic at points of last season to the end, he was looking world class. You know?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I feel like you have to do it for me to say world class. It has to be for like a period. Man.
Yeah, bro. I agree.
Nice period.
Which world class, but he looked like he looks like he can be. Basically, is what we're saying. However, you ain't touching world class. You ain't gonna be a world class winger on the Jose Mourinho in 2021. I'm sorry, you just will not. Harry Kane is scoring goals.
Harry Kane, when he leaves this summer, I'm going to be so happy because I know he's going to go and hoop. Man.
If he plays like this at another club and wins trophies, he'll have a genuine shot at a Ballon d'Or. You know, like genuinely.
100%.
I've been saying, and people are going to call me crazy, but I think he's better than Lewandowski, bro.
I think it's close, but I said it at my football today. I said I think Kane is one of like the best striker in the world, maybe second. And they all looked at me like, "Oh no, Haaland's better. This player's better." And I was like, "Oh, this is madness. None of these players are better than Kane. Just because he plays for Tottenham, people sleep on him.
He's a better footballer, but he's not a better striker, unfortunately."
I
guess it depends.
Lewandowski, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he's overtaken Raul or he's just below him, but he's about to be third in the Champions League all-time list behind Messi and Ronaldo.
I will say, like Lewandowski as a finisher, he might be one of the only people that's better than Kane at finishing. Like you can't give Lewandowski a sniff in the box.
He's so clinical.
But then so is Kane. They both are, man. They're neck and neck for me. Like I wouldn't be mad at either one.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, the problem is Lua plays for a very progressive, like attacking, focused team, and Kane is doing it for a team that's Burnley.
True, but he's had one of his best seasons.
He has, but that's more towards Kane's quality, I have to say. Him and Son have been tearing out.
But there's arguments that like, there's a lot of strikers that have had their best years under Jose.
Oh yeah, he is third all time now. Yeah, thought so. Yeah, fair enough. Sam.
Jose definitely likes his strikers.
But bro, no, come on, look. Did you watch that Everton game yesterday?
No, I'm agreeing with you. Like, it's definitely difficult, but I think in terms of his all-round play, Jose definitely likes strikers that do a bit of everything rather than kind of just a goal scorer.
How many strikers are like that? Do they exist? How many strikers like that exist? A striker who is potent.
He's had one at every club he's been
Yeah,
at,
he's had one. Like
had
Drogba when he had here.
Right.
And Costa in that 1 year kind of done it.
Cool. So
even Costa in that year we won.
You might not literally comparing guys who come across once every generation. Like, as if that it's not a normal, like, Kane isn't a normal player.
Yeah, I get you, but I'm not saying there's normal. I'm just saying he's had that, if you get what I mean. I'm not saying there's normal.
Yeah.
He's had it.
No, I'm just saying I think it is clear that Jose prefers strikers like that.
It isn't to Jose's credit that Kane is doing well. It's to Kane's credit that Kane's doing well. Do you get me? Like, we can say it's the Pep's credit that Sterling's doing so, but we can't say that for Kane. Kane will be doing this regardless of if Jose was there or not.
What, the assists, you think?
Bro, all Son is doing is just sprinting, and Kane is picking them out like some flipping quarterback. And, and obviously, and Son has great finishing. Like, well, that's the difference between him and Sterling. He's got fantastic finishing, and Kane picks him out all the time. Actually, that's a question. Actually, before we actually talk about the game, who would you rather have, Son or Sterling?
Son, for me.
Why?
I think he's a better. I think he's a better finisher.
He's not a better. No chance. No chance. I'm so sorry. No chance. Nah.
No, but he said for me, for Chelsea right now.
Okay, got you.
We need a goal scoring winger.
Not for Chelsea. I'm not saying for Chelsea. I'm saying who is the better wide forward? Well, left winger, wide forward, whatever.
I don't know. Everything you said earlier, I kind of agree with. Like Sterling, he winds me up.
Far. He's better 1v1. He's a better goal scorer, and he's a better creator. Done. Like, I can't think of anything else. The only thing I can give for Son is he's more two-footed.
Is like really underrated. Like, I don't think he's amazing, but people make out like he can't beat him out.
The funniest thing is, if you were on the live yesterday, they were literally talking about Son's 1v1.
Yeah, and he skipped past a man yesterday. I don't know. I think like Son, like being that good a goal scorer off both feet, finishing, I think is kind of it's an elite trait to have. It's very good. But the only problem with me with it, he tends to score in like bursts and then kind of stops for like 5-6 games and then scores 10 goals again. So yeah, that would be my problem with Son. I can easily, like what I say is I can easier see Son move into a different team and bang in rather than Sterling. Like, I think Pep's helped Sterling a lot. I
agree, man. I don't agree with the whole Pep's help Sterling thing, man. Because Pep's had bare wingers at City who haven't banged like this.
No, I'm not saying Sterling's not good, but I'm saying to be like the scoring the loads of goals and stuff, that's definitely makes him viewed in higher regard.
Comes with age. I think it just comes with age as well. I'm not saying the Pep hasn't helped him, but I think a lot of it comes with age and experience. Like,
do you think Sterling becomes a goal scoring winger like that if he wasn't under Pep?
I reckon.
If he stayed at Liverpool.
The thing is that you don't just develop a goal scoring instinct. You don't just develop it overnight.
I don't know if you develop the goal scoring instinct overnight, but you develop, like, you're taught the management is to get to the back post and to